The contractions were getting stronger when I heard her voice echoing down the hospital hallway. Where is she? Which room? Sarah's shrill tone made my heart race faster than the pain. My husband Michael squeezed my hand, his face darkening with concern. Not now, he muttered, moving toward the door. She wouldn't dare. But he was wrong. Sarah burst into the delivery room, her designer handbag swinging wildly as she pointed an accusing finger at me. Stop everything, she screamed. This baby isn't my brother's. She's been lying to all of us. My name is Emma Thompson, and at 32, I was about to give birth to my first child. What should have been the most beautiful moment of my life was being turned into a nightmare by my sister-in-law, a woman who'd hated me from the moment Michael chose to marry me instead of the society girl she picked out for him. Sarah, get out. Michael's voice was sharp, but she ignored him, pulling papers from her bag. I have proof, she announced, waving them dramatically. Phone records, hotel receipts. She's been seeing someone else. This baby can't be yours. Another contraction hit, and I gripped the bed rails, trying to breathe through the pain. The monitors started beeping faster, and my nurse, Angela, stepped forward. Ma'am, you need to leave. This is a restricted area, and you're causing distress to my patient. Sarah laughed, a cold, harsh sound. Distress? She's been causing our family distress for 3 years, ever since she trapped my brother with her fake pregnancy story and forced him to marry her. That's enough. Michael moved to block her, but Sarah dodged around him, getting right in my face. Tell the truth, she demanded. Tell him about all those mysterious work meetings you've been having. Tell him about the hotel charges on your credit card. Through the pain, I almost smiled. Sarah had no idea what those meetings really were, or why I'd been checking into hotels at odd hours. She'd been so busy trying to prove I was unfaithful, she'd missed what was really happening. Security. Angela called out, pressing the emergency button. We need security in delivery room 4. No one's going anywhere until the truth comes out, Sarah insisted, pulling out her phone. I have pictures, timestamps, everything. This baby needs a DNA test before you sign any birth certificate. Michael grabbed her arm. Sarah, stop this. You're completely out of line. Am I? She sneered. Then why has your precious wife been meeting with James Wilson every Tuesday for the past 6 months? Why does she check into the Marina Hotel after each meeting? Explain that. The contraction passed, and I caught my breath, looking directly at Sarah. You really want to know about those meetings? Emma, you don't owe her any explanations, Michael said, but I shook my head. No, it's time. I nodded to Angela, who reached into my medical file and pulled out a sealed envelope. Those meetings were with a private investigator, Sarah. James Wilson works for Carlton Security. I hired him after the first time he tried to sabotage my marriage. Sarah's face went pale. What are you talking about? The envelope, Sarah. Open it. Her hands shook as she tore open the envelope, and I watched as her expression changed from smugness to horror. Inside were detailed reports of every scheme she'd orchestrated over the past 3 years, the fake evidence she'd planted, the rumors she'd spread, even the attempts to set Michael up with other women. That's right, I said, breathing through another contraction. Every time you tried to destroy my marriage, every lie you told, every plot you hatched, it's all documented. The hotels? That's where I met with James to review the evidence. I knew this day would come, when you try something truly unforgivable. Security arrived at that moment, 2 uniformed officers taking in the scene. Sarah stood frozen, the papers trembling in her hands. And Sarah? I added as the security officers moved toward her. The baby's DNA. Michael and I already have proof of paternity. We did the tests months ago because we knew you'd try something like this. It's all in that file you're holding. As security escorted her out, I could hear her sobbing in the hallway, all her carefully constructed plans crumbling around her. Michael turned to me, his eyes wide with realization. You knew? He asked softly. All this time? I nodded, gripping his hand as another contraction began. I had to protect our family. Your sister. She was never going to stop unless we had proof. Angela adjusted my monitors, smiling approvingly. Smart woman. Now, let's focus on bringing this baby into the world. I think someone's ready to meet their parents. Michael kissed my forehead, tears in his eyes. I'm so sorry about Sarah. I should have seen. Later, I whispered, focusing on my breathing. Right now, we have more important things to worry about. As the contractions intensified, I heard Sarah's voice one last time, echoing down the hallway as security led her away. But this time, it wasn't filled with accusations. It was broken, defeated. She finally realized that her own brother's wife had outsmarted her at every turn. The baby was coming, and nothing, not even Sarah's dramatic ambush, could ruin this moment. I had protected my family, exposed the truth, and now it was time to focus on what really mattered, bringing our child into the world. The hours after giving birth should have been filled with joy, quiet celebrations, and the first precious moments with our newborn daughter, Lily. Instead, the hospital corridor outside our room had become a battlefield of family drama. "She's ruined everything." Sarah's voice carried through the door, where she was arguing with our parents in the hallway. "Don't you understand? Emma's been investigating me. She's turned my own brother against me." I cradled Lily closer, watching Michael pace by the window. His phone hadn't stopped buzzing with messages from family members, each taking sides in the growing conflict. Our private investigator's file had exposed more than just Sarah's schemes. It had revealed a pattern of manipulation that stretched back to before our wedding. "Your mother wants to come in," Michael said, checking his phone again. "She says Sarah's hysterical, claiming we set her up." I adjusted Lily's blanket, remembering all the moments that had led to this. The accidental meetings Michael had with his ex-girlfriends, orchestrated by Sarah. The mysterious rumors that always seemed to reach his colleagues about my questionable past. The steady stream of beautiful, accomplished women who showed up at family functions, always introduced by Sarah as old friends who'd be perfect for Michael. "Let her in," I said finally. It's time they all knew the truth. Michael's mother, Eleanor, entered the room like a storm cloud in designer clothes. Her perfectly manicured hands twisted her pearl necklace, a nervous habit I'd noticed whenever she was preparing for confrontation. "Emma," she began, her voice tight with controlled anger, "what have you done to my daughter?" Before I could respond, Michael stepped forward. "Mom, you need to see this." He handed her his phone, where he pulled up the investigator's photos. "This is what Sarah's been doing for the past 3 years." Eleanor's face went through a range of emotions as she scrolled. Shock at the pictures of Sarah meeting with Michael's ex-girlfriends, planning their coincidental appearances. Dismay at the text messages showing Sarah's coordinated attempts to spread rumors about me. And finally, horror at the documented evidence of her daughter's obsessive campaign to break up our marriage. "But why?" she whispered, sinking into the visitor's chair. "Because she never accepted me," I said quietly, as Lily stirred in my arms. From the day Michael chose me over the woman she picked out for him, Sarah made it her mission to save him from me. I had to protect my family. "Those hotel meetings," Eleanor said, realization dawning. "Sarah said you were having an affair." "I was meeting with a private investigator," I explained. "Every Tuesday, same time, same place." I knew Sarah was following me, taking pictures. I wanted her to find out, but only when it was too late for her to cover her tracks. Michael took Lily from my arms, cradling her gently. "Mom, Sarah tried to ruin the birth of your granddaughter. She burst in here, screaming about DNA tests and infidelity, all because she couldn't stand to see us happy." Eleanor's shoulders slumped. The righteous anger she'd carried into the room had drained away, replaced by the weary acceptance of a mother facing her child's unforgivable actions. "The things she's done," she murmured, still scrolling through the evidence. "The lengths she went to." "I didn't want it to come to this," I said softly. "I kept hoping she'd accept me. But when I got pregnant, her attempts to break us up became more desperate. I couldn't let her poison Lily's life the way she tried to poison our marriage." A nurse poked her head in. "Mrs. Thompson, security asked me to inform you that your sister-in-law has been escorted from the building. She's been added to the restricted visitors list, as requested." Eleanor's head snapped up. "Restricted visitors?" "We can't trust her around the baby," Michael explained firmly. "Not after today. Not after everything we've learned." The weight of the situation seemed to finally hit Eleanor. Her daughter's actions hadn't just damaged family relationships. They'd gotten her banned from seeing her own niece. Years of enabling Sarah's behavior had led to this moment. "I should have seen it," she whispered. "All those times Sarah said she was protecting the family name, she was really just trying to control everything. Everyone." I reached out and took Eleanor's hand. "It's not too late to change things. Lily deserves to know her grandmother. But Sarah needs help, not encouragement." Eleanor squeezed my hand, tears in her eyes. You're right. And Emma, I'm so sorry for not seeing it sooner, for not stopping her. As if sensing the tension breaking, Lily chose that moment to wake up, letting out a tiny cry that drew everyone's attention. Eleanor stood, wiping her eyes, and approached Michael. May I? She asked hesitantly, holding out her arms. As Michael placed Lily in her grandmother's arms, I saw the future I've been fighting for all along, a family built on love and truth, not manipulation and control. Sarah's schemes had finally been exposed, but more importantly, they'd failed. The battle wasn't over. Sarah wouldn't give up easily, but for now, in this moment, watching Eleanor bond with her granddaughter, I knew every Tuesday meeting, every documented scheme, every careful step of my countermove had been worth it. 1 month after Lily's dramatic entrance into the world, we were finally settling into a routine when the certified letter arrived. Sarah's name on the return address made my stomach clench. She's suing us, Michael said in disbelief, reading the legal notice. For defamation and emotional distress. She claims we fabricated the evidence to frame her. I adjusted Lily in my arms, watching my husband's face redden with anger. She wants $500,000 in damages, he continued, and a public retraction of all allegations. I had expected something like this. Sarah had spent the past month being shunned by family and friends as the truth about her behavior spread. Her carefully cultivated image as the perfect sister, protecting her brother from a gold-digging wife, had crumbled. Now she was trying to rewrite the narrative. Call James, I said calmly, referring to our private investigator. It's time for phase 2. Michael looked up sharply. Phase 2? There's more? I nodded, remembering the conversation I'd had with James Wilson 6 months ago. We knew Sarah wouldn't stop. The initial evidence was just insurance. The real bombshell, well, I was hoping we wouldn't need it. That evening, after putting Lily to bed, we met with James in our living room. He brought a thick folder and a laptop, his face grim. Sarah's made her move, he said, opening the laptop. Are you sure you want to proceed with this? Once it's done, there's no going back. Show us, Michael said firmly. James pulled up a series of emails, bank statements, and photographs. Sarah's vendetta against Emma wasn't just personal. She's been embezzling from your family's company, Michael, using the chaos she created in your marriage as cover for her financial schemes. The evidence was damning. While Sarah had been orchestrating chance meetings with Michael's ex-girlfriends, she'd also been siphoning money from company accounts into offshore holdings. Her attempts to break up our marriage weren't just about control. They were about keeping Michael distracted from his role as company CFO. $3 million, James said quietly. That's how much she's taken over the past 3 years. Every time she started a new rumor about Emma, there was a corresponding transfer of funds. Michael sat heavily on the couch, his face ashen. My own sister. She was stealing from our family while trying to destroy my marriage? The lawsuit is a desperate move, I explained softly. She must have realized we were close to uncovering the financial trail. She's trying to discredit us before we can expose her. Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Michael asked, his voice strained. I needed to be certain, I replied, and I hoped we wouldn't have to use it. Despite everything, she's your sister. This will destroy her career, maybe send her to prison. James cleared his throat. There's something else. The money? We traced it. Sarah wasn't working alone. He pulled up another document, and I heard Michael's sharp intake of breath. The account receiving Sarah's stolen funds was jointly held with Jessica Porter, Michael's ex-girlfriend, the woman Sarah had wanted him to marry instead of me. They've been partners this whole time, James explained. Jessica's father's company was failing. They needed capital. Sarah provided it, using your family's money in exchange for Jessica's help in trying to break up your marriage. The pieces fell into place. The constant run-ins with Jessica, the way she always seemed to know where Michael would be, the convenient photos that would find their way to gossip columns suggesting an ongoing affair. I've prepared 2 packages, James said, placing USB drives on the table. One goes to the police and the SEC, documenting the financial crimes. The other goes to your family's board of directors, explaining everything. Your choice. Michael stood up and walked to Lily's nursery. Through the baby monitor, I could hear him softly talking to our sleeping daughter. When he returned, his jaw was set. Send both, he said firmly. Sarah chose this path. She didn't just try to destroy my marriage, she betrayed our entire family. 2 days later, Sarah's lawsuit was withdrawn. 1 week after that, she and Jessica were arrested. The story made headlines. Socialite sisters-in-law's scheme exposed. Family drama masks $1 million theft. Eleanor took it hard, but differently than I expected. She threw herself into grandmother duties, perhaps trying to make up for years of enabling Sarah's behavior. Michael's father stepped down as CEO, letting Michael take control of the company to repair the damage. As for Sarah, she faced the consequences of her actions not just legally, but socially. The same society circles she'd once ruled now shunned her. Her carefully crafted world of manipulation and control had crumbled. Late one night, as I rocked Lily to sleep, I received a text from an unknown number. "You won. I hope you're happy." Sarah's final message before beginning her prison sentence. I looked down at my daughter, peaceful in my arms, then at the photo on my nightstand. Michael and me on our wedding day. Happy despite Sarah's first attempt to ruin it. "No, Sarah," I whispered. "I didn't win. I protected what mattered." There's a difference. The battle was over, but its lessons would stay with us. Sometimes protecting your family means making hard choices. Sometimes the truth hurts more than lies. And sometimes the best revenge isn't winning. It's building a life so full of love that the darkness can't touch it.